our wonderful crack team of AD specialists fix the issue of no projector in this room. How many of you make games, either professionally or as a hobby? Raise your hand. All right, pretty good, pretty good. How many of you have participated in a game jam before? All right, great. So for those of you who do not know, a game jam is a little event where people get together for like a weekend or some other short amount of time, and you come together and you make a game in like 2 days. And they're always like weird and experimental, and sometimes they're very, very rough because you only have 2 days to do it. So I've been working in games for 17 years now. I got my start back at Insomniac in the Resistance days, back in the PS3 days. I've worked in the game space. I worked on Hyatt, which was one of the old era of Kickstarter games. That was great. I worked at Bungie for a little while on Destiny 2, from launch to the online expansion. We worked at Firewalk, which had the sad fate of Concord, which launched and then was immediately pulled, but it was still an amazing experience. So I've worked on big games, and I get to talk about those big games a lot, but I never get to talk about my small, weird little game jam games. So the point of this panel is going to be a showcase. A showcase. Oh, look at that! We got it! I'm going to go through some of my favorite game jam games that I've ever worked on, and we're going to play them, we're going to talk about them, and it's just going to be a generally fun time. Feeling good? Are we good?
Yeah, we're going to do this while you're going.
All right, that's totally fine. That's totally fine. So I'm going to start with the very first game jam game that I ever finished, which is called 10-Second Dragon Feeder. Now this was a game for Ludum Dare, which is a game jam that happens like 3 times a year, maybe 4? No, it's a big online event and lots of people participate. And it has a theme. And I believe that year's theme was 10 seconds, which has probably been a theme multiple times over the last 15 years because they pick the same themes a lot. So in my little game, this is a game about feeding a little thing. Oh, it's coming out of the projector. Not good. That's fine. Whatever. Y'all can still.
That's setting on your laptop that you can switch.
Yeah.
So if you go. Oh, it's like you've done this before.
I know. Which one is the one that plugs in? I guess it's the headphones.
That's the guy.
There. So in this game, you have to feed the little ball to the little dragon, and it will click through 1 second at a time. And you can put stuff up on the screen to help like guide the ball to the dragon. So you can put like a little thingy here, and then you can advance for the next second. You're like, okay, that's probably good. It's fine. Oh no. Okay. So we're gonna do the spraying, yeah. It's very sensitive. Rotation very sensitive. There we go. All right, and then we'll just let it play out. You got it. Yeah. Woo. And I added this little replay mode that plays it back in real time. That it only half works because I did this in 48 hours. And I have like little tips and such. Let's just play through to show you what will happen. He's so sad. He's so sad. He just got this. So let's see, what should we do? I have this thing which slows down the momentum of the ball. I don't know what it's supposed to be. Maybe like cotton candy? I don't know. Yeah. Oh no! Alright, okay. Right here. He got it! Oh So the fun thing about making this game, this was made in Construct 2, which is one of my favorite like tools. It's old. They're on Construct 3 now, I think. But Construct 2 was like the thing I did. It was very easy to make sprite-based games like this that had just like easy components so you could put on stuff. This was the first time I'd ever really played with physics in a game. So that was like the point. That was like, I'm gonna go in this, I'm gonna learn how to do physics and construct, and we'll just see what happens. And it turns out it's super fun, because, you know, with physics, things are kind of unpredictable, because it's physics. Oh gosh, I could have done this a different way. It's okay, this is like 10 years old, it's fine. Well, I'm not gonna make it, let's do this. Yeah. Oh, it's great. We'll just speed this up. Come on. Listen, sometimes when you only have 48 hours, you have to like make concessions. But it's surprising. There's like fun surprises, and when you work on a game, there's surprises in making the game. And it just makes it so much better. So that's 10-second Dragon Beat. I forget how many levels I made, but yeah. You can play all of these at wordle.io. Alright, so the second one I'm going to show is called Cat Trick. This game I made with a friend of mine named Will White. He's an animator. He did all the art. So in this game, you're playing with a toy, a cat toy, and trying to get the cat to do different tricks. We have different cats with different stats. You know, so you know you can pick which one you wanna try. Do this guy. So you have a little toy, a little winged toy, and the goal is to get the cat to pounce for it but not catch it. And get like points because it flips. Oh, we got it, pounce cat. Try and get him to do like wall jumps. And then he gets like faster and faster as it goes along. Yeah, that's a good one. Alright. But if he catches it, you have to like shake it. And if he catches it a second time, then it's game over. But see, if you get closer to him, your multiplier goes up, so it pays to really do this. Oh, I got it. Yeah. So the theme of this game, I believe this game jam was like AI jam, back when AI meant like, you know, game AI. And the goal was to try and create something where things had distinct behaviors. So all the cats have different behaviors. This one's kind of standard, you know. You can see when he sees it, his tail starts wiggling. You know, he makes a face when he's getting ready to bounce. Yeah. And then, so the other cats, the goal was to make them all like distinct, right? So they all have different personalities. I don't remember what any of the personalities are, because this was the only good one, because again, I made this in like 2 days. So, but I think like this one was like, he's like, you can sort of figure it out. Like if you get too close, he doesn't go for it. Maybe he's the one where you move it really slow and he gets it. I don't know. Maybe you have to be like really, really quickly. I don't know how this cat works. Anyway, it ended up just the one cat was fun. And oh, one more thing about this game that is probably the best thing about this game is this rope, right? Look at this rope. It's really good. My friend, when I first tried to build this rope, I was trying to use the engine physics rope code, and I couldn't get it work. So my friend, Jacob Koziel, he's a genius. He made the game Little Alchemy and rope bigger. He's like, let me do it with math. I'm like, okay. He went in there, and he did some math, and this was the results. I don't understand the math. I don't understand it. So it's game jam. He's like, just let me do this. Let me do it. I'll make you a good rope. So that's the best part of this game. It's the part I didn't do, and it's the part I don't understand. It's the math that makes this rope physics work. So that's Cat Trick. Okay.
And that was built in.
That was in Construct 2 as well. Let's see. I had like a little list of what I wanted to show. Did that. Vertic Corpse. Okay, so this game, this was made for 7-day FPS, which I don't know if they still do. Do they still do 7-day FPS? I haven't heard it in a long time. But it's a game jam where you have to make an FPS in 7 days. I made this game called Verticorps, which I can only show a video of because it's a multiplayer game in Unreal 3. Now, I would not recommend trying to make an online multiplayer game in Unreal 3 for a game jam, but as a professional, I can do this. And it does work. It does work, but I can't show it off easily. The premise was inspired by one of my coworkers. He's a designer. He used to work in QA, and he did QA for the old Medal of Honor games. And he would always tell this story. There was this bug that they had where when you killed someone, they didn't ragdoll. They just stood there. And when he and his QA buddies were testing, they ended up making this game out of it where the more people died, the more these statues filled up the arena. So they would just stand there. You would just go and stand among them, hide, and get someone. So that's what the game is done. Unfortunately, the only video I have of the game is by Jupiter Hadley. She always did all these would always do playthroughs of game jam games. But her computer is not great, and the frame rate is very, very bad. So you can see sort of you go around this arena, and you can see where people had died. There's just the dude standing there. And so as it goes on, and as more people get kills, you have to, you have more opportunities to hide by just standing still. Yes, and it's a one-hit kill thing, so it's one-hit kill gun, you get hit, you die, and you can play up to 6 people, which is really fun. And actually, the friend that inspired this game, I told him about it. He's like, I want to work on it too. And so he made the level for me. He's like, I'm going to make it a mannequin factory. It's like, all right, make your mannequin factory. So it's even when no one's dead yet, there's still places you can hide. This game was super fun, and you might still be able to play it. You have to do the old 2003 thing where you give someone your IP address and then directly connect. So, but I really loved making this game. It was so fun, but still, I would not make an online multiplayer game for Game Jam. And yet, I say that, and yet, really cool. Okay. Whoops. Ooh, sorry, preview. We're not at Ghost Dentist yet, Jerry. Hold on. Okay, so next game I want to show is called Prop Hell. Has anyone worked in the theater or been involved in the theater? Okay, all right. So I used to work in the theater before I made games. I did props, and if you've done props in theater, you know there's always this prop storage room where they store all the props after shows, and you have to go down there and find something really specific, and it's really creepy. Because they'll have furniture and plates and the severed head from Richard III just sitting there on the shelf. It's very, very scary. So this game I made for a jam that was all about prop gen, procedural generation. So get the So you got to go down in the prop hell and find, in this case, we need to find a grail. So these levels are procedurally generated. You go down and there's props everywhere, and you can pick them up. They'll give you a little flavor text about what it's for. Throw them, and you'll notice that it has this shield on it because deep in prop hell there's prop golems. They wander around and they collect props onto their limbs, and then they attack you. And in order to defeat them, you have to knock all the props off of them. And also, as you go further and further, it gets dark, so you have to find props that have light on them, find something. It's too small. Chair. Tree. Got a compass. Ball. There's got to be lights or something. Clock. A couple of these clocks. It's got there's one. There we go. So you find some light. You carry it along place it in the world to light things up. Stick it right here. There's another one. Oh, there's the grill. Did I get through this without any prop columns? That's the other thing. Oh, there's the severed head of Richard III. So you find the thing and you take it back to the stairs, and it looks like I got really lucky with the generation on this one and did not get any doors. So we'll have to go to the next one to figure out how to get back to the stairs. Yeah, we did it. Yay! We got it. All right, now we need a mushroom. There's a light prop right there. Yeah. Oh, there's the golem. He doesn't have any props on him yet. Oh, he just took a teddy bear. Oh, he's coming for me. Yeah. I'm gonna throw a rocket at him. Yeah. And a palm shake. Yeah, got it. Oh no! Oh gosh, there's lots of them! Okay. All right. Oh, he's got 2 balls. Let me see if I can. Oh, this one's got a. Okay, so see how he has the torch attached to his hand? That gives him the ability to throw fireballs. Okay. They can sort of. Oh god. Okay. Well, there's 2 of them. Yeah, this is like. So the thing about procedural generation is. A lot of times there's a lot of surprises and you don't necessarily know how things are going to go, but that's what makes it fun. Alright, set this here. Go down here. Surely they'll be over. No, the thing will have it'll have like a sparkly on it. But all of these props are inspired by shows I worked on, so like this is the lantern that Tinkerbell got trapped in. Ooh. Okay, he's got a lot going on. Alright, we're gonna fight this guy. We're gonna throw a flip at a zeppelin. But first we're gonna need some light. Hang on, hold on. Hold. I'm not afraid to open this. Dark upstairs, he's escaping. Oh, he dropped the lantern. He had the lantern. Oh, jeez. Where'd he go? There it is. Damn it. Oh, it's coming on time. Like different modalities. So like that dragon head takes a lot of hits. That column, I have to throw a million things at that. Ah! Oh! No! No! Okay. Hold on. We got this. He's mad. So mad! Ah! Oh! No! Fire from the dark here. There it is. It's that column. That column has a ton of hit points. Okay. Ah! Sorry. I apologize. I'm a speaker. I can't really help it. Oh my gosh. Alright, where's this stupid stool? Better be up this path. There it is! Alright, so now I gotta take it back. I have like 1 hit left. There's like 6 of them over there. Yeah. Okay, which way did I go? Here it is. That one's down. Look at this mess. I had grand plans for like the different props, giving them different abilities and stuff, but it's pretty fun as is for just a. I can't remember how long this game jam was. Maybe like 7. Ooh. Okay. This mushroom can take 3 hits before it's knocked off of me. I think I can maybe sneak through and take a hit. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Yay! That's fun. It's very fun. Procedural games are so much fun because they're so surprising. All right, now we're going to talk about a favorite. This is a fan favorite. This is a game I worked with Mr. Jerry Bellick here. We built this on Train Jam, which was a game jam that took place on a train between Chicago and San Francisco. It's 52 hours of a train full of nerds playing games. And we decided to make a VR game on a train. Smart people. Yes. So the premise of this game is that you are a dentist who's a ghost. And since you have no corporeal form, the way you operate on your patients is you possess them. And you do the dentistry on yourself. So as you can see in the picture here, you'll get like a mirror, you'll take the tools, you'll get in there, do your dentistry. Now the key thing about this is, see this beauty strap to the jaw here? This is a custom peripheral called the Vibra Jaw. It has motors on the inside hooked up to the haptics so that when you're drilling this tooth, this motor starts buzzing. So it's a very immersive experience.
And the tracking.
Oh yeah, the tracking, it tracks when you, yeah, you see there's a rubber band here, so it'll track when you open your mouth and close your mouth. So this is a clip of like the people playing the game to see what it looks like from their perspective. So, you know, he's over there drilling his tooth. So it's very intense. Now, Jerry, I thought I had a link to your page, but I'm just going to take it.
There's a newer video after we did a refresh of
Oh, yeah.
some of the graphics.
I'm just going to take Jerry.
Jerry's
Yeah. So project. These are all Jerry's projects. Where are you, Ghost Dentist? Here we are. Here we're going to watch this one. Okay. All right. So this is what it looks like from the inside. I love the sheet view. Alright, come on, good. We don't care about these words. There we go. We have the light. We have the mirror. Now you'll notice the patient is still somewhat sentient. You can see his eyes will watch what you're doing. He'll try and keep his tongue out of the way. We're just gonna get some of that gunk out. There you go. But, oh, ouch. No, dude, you need to get the anesthesia. Ouch. Stop banging the tube. No, we're going straight for the drill. That's the stuff. We need that stuff. There. All right, now we're going to talk. See his eyes crumbling. Come on, buddy, you can do it. Get the rest of those out. Now, whenever we told people about this game, there were 2 reactions. One was, that's the most amazing thing I've ever heard, yes. And the other was, absolutely not. Absolutely not. But the sound is so good. It's such a good sound design. I don't know, this project has a special place in my heart. It's a great installation project. Do you still have the Vibra Jaw? Is it still around? Yeah.
A couple other fun facts about it.
Yeah.
We ended up going with the Muppet aesthetic.
Oh, yes.
Because it turns out trying to deal with a human-sized head in VR it's so small.
It's very small.
It's just impossible. So we're like,
And only the bottom moves, right? The top doesn't move in real life.
Yeah,
Just the
yeah.
bottom.
So we had to go a little sillier.
Yeah. Well, that makes it a little more bearable.
And the whole ghost thing to make a game,
Yeah.
especially with just self-dentistry.
Yeah.
Well, why would you need to do it again? Like, you did your dental work, you're done, and you're like, oh, well, what if you're just a dentist?
Yeah.
That's really,
Now you have all your patients in line. Yeah, anyway, so this is Ghost Dentist. Maybe someday we'll reach an installation near you. I don't know. Maybe next year we can bring it here.
Yeah, probably actually.
This is fun. Ghost Dentist. What am I doing here? All right, plenty of time. What next? Okay. So this game, this is a nerdy game designer game. Because it's a solitaire variant. I love solitaire. And I especially love Four Seasons Solitaire, which is a variation of Played Four Seasons. Yeah, I like it because it's like you can only go through the deck once. It's very hardcore. So I was like, I'm gonna make a solitaire variant that's inspired by this. The reason it's called 6-6 Solitaire is I was very ill when I was making this game. But the fun part was I paper prototyped the whole thing. Just got a deck of cards and started messing around, and basically spent probably an entire day of my 2-day period just prototyping with a deck of cards. And then I built it. So the way it works is, you have your standard, you're trying to build up ace to 10. I don't know why I didn't include space cards, I'm sure I had a good reason. We only go to 10 in this one, like a normal solitaire game. This is the row where you can like move cards around to give yourself space. You can stack them downwards in order of the number. Suits don't matter, it doesn't matter, so you can stack these down. But you can only move the last one in place. You can't move the whole stack. So the idea here is you want to get the 2 red suits all the way to 10 with as few of the black suits as possible, because these take away points. But you can only, when you play a card from your red pile, then that is now locked, and you have to play a black card. And it goes back and forth. So, yeah. Sorry, I'm just gonna play. I know this is like really boring to watch, but I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So you go along and you're trying to figure out, how deep do I want to go here with this one? And it's like, oh, I need to hang on to that too, because if it gets covered up, you only go through the deck once, so it takes a long time to get down. Okay. All right. Ooh. I'll get to this here. Okay. Anyway, you get the idea. I'm not going to play through this whole thing because it's kind of boring to watch, but I love this game so much. And there's a couple bugs with it, and I'm like, I just want to remake this game just for me, just so I can play it. But it's great. I recommend everyone try and make a variant of Solitaire first. 1, because it's easy to pick a prototype. But 2, because Solitaire is great. It's like a beautiful art form. And I love it. And I love this game so much. But I'm not going to play, because otherwise I'm going to get too drawn. So that's 6-6 Solitaire. What do I have next on my another game for 7-day FPS. Who's played WarioWare? Okay, so y'all know WarioWare, right? It's like mini games you play. You get like a command and you get like 3 seconds to figure out what you're supposed to do in a scenario and you do it. And I wanted to make that with an FPS. So it's called FPSware. I'm going to show a video because it's very frantic and I probably can't play it and talk about it at the same time. So we're going to watch a video of how it looks. So you'll get a command and then like you just have to not die. You have your little timer over in the corner. And yeah, you just get put in a scenario and you have to do it. Now the thing that was cool about this game jam is that I was really excited to build the structure, like the loop, the game loop. But then I was like, oh, but then I have to have a bunch of levels. That's a lot of work. So instead I built it so that I could have other people come and build levels for me and to make it so they just had to hook up like a win condition. I could just slot in the map. So like this one, for example, is one where you have to ricochet. Someone else made this and they just gave me the map. And I'm a systems designer, so that was deeply satisfying to me. I'm like, oh, I made this whole structure where people can make their own I explained to these people, you know, it has to be, you have to have some goal you can accomplish in 4 seconds. And all of them were like, I made way too complicated of a scenario, and I had to go back. Like, you don't know how long and yet how short 4 seconds is. So you have to like shoot all of these, and so on and so forth. And it goes faster, and so on and so forth. Let's see. Perhaps we have to do the rocket launcher so long. Oh no, got one life left. Oh, that was it. I really enjoyed making this. I make shooters for a living, so it's biased. But it was fun to just take the Unreal 4 shooter template and just see like what something fun I could do with it from there. And I'm really proud of my little like math management system, the people to add to. Like, here are 3 other people who made levels for me, and it was a delight. It was a delightful game. So, and it is playable. I just didn't want to try to play it here. Because then I would just completely die over and over again. Okay, what's next on my list? Well, does anyone have any questions while I'm right in the middle? Okay, great. I'm going to keep going. I love this game. I say that about everyone, but you love all your game jam games. This game is called Imperfection. This was for Ludogdaria, and I believe the theme, it was shapeshift. The theme was shapeshift. So in this game, so this is a simple game where you're playing board game Perfection. Simple, right? Just go pick up the pieces. There's 2, we control 2 hands. Pieces, easy. Definitely nothing suspicious happening. And then the board is actually a demon board. And when you pick up a thing, it will try and change that piece. So like make that circle to get it on a star. It switches out the star. Sure. Is you have to use both of your hands. You have to like distract it, right? So I'm gonna get to start with this guy. Oh, alright. Just gotta rush it there. Oh, I missed it. Okay. Pay attention to me. Got it. Yeah. Okay. And of course the timer is ticking. Alright, just pay attention to me. Over here. Go over the board and close it. Oh gosh. Alright. Oh no, my pieces! So that's Imperfection. The thing I liked about making this is this was another game I made with my friend Will. He was the guy who did the art of the cat trick gimmicky. And the thing I love about doing game jams with him is whenever we worked together, we would wait and get the theme, but then before we did anything, we would just go for a walk, go get food, and talk about the idea on the way to the walking back for at least an hour. Because your first idea that you come up with, it'll probably be fine, but if you wait till you get like 2 or 3 good ones, then you find something way more interesting. So the theme was shapeshift, so we were doing all the same things, and like, then it was like, what if it's more like shapes that are shifting? And I don't know how Perfection came up, but it did, because if you've never played this game, this is a scarring game. This is a formative game. It will be the beginning of your anxiety. This game. And so somehow we came of like, oh, what if it's like perfection, but the shapes keep changing around? It's like, oh, what if the perfection board is possessed? What would we call it? Imperfection, and it's like an imp. And all this stuff came out just on the walk to dinner. Because a lot of times when you do a game jam, you feel like you gotta get going, right? Because you don't have time. You have like 48 hours. You gotta go. But the act of brainstorming is still doing the work, right? You're still getting stuff done. So if you ever do a game jam, give yourself a lot of time at the beginning after you get your theme, and you'll come up with something fun, like a possessed imperfection board. Future babies 1 through 4. Okay. Let me explain. There was a game jam. I don't know if they still do it. It's called 0 Hour Game Jam. And the gimmick was that you were supposed to do it on the night that the clocks fall back. So you would start at 2, and then you would do for an hour, and then it would fall back, and then it would be 2 again, so you 0 hours. I could never stay at that late, so I just did it in spirit. But I made these games, and I streamed myself making them, which was super fun. But this is an hour to make a game is that's a lot. That's a lot, or not very lot at all. That's the opposite of a lot. That's a little, and it's you have to be extremely constrained. And I was making these late enough in my career that I felt pretty confident about making a constrained concept. So this first game, this is the one that started in the mall. You try to feed these babies. And if you don't, you gotta get them all. If you don't feed them, they're gonna die. But if you feed them well, then they'll grow up strong and fly away. Come on, buddy. All right. Oh no, I can't reach up. Hang on. I got you down. You can't reach this one. No, it's really not. Oh, this is so sad. That's very sad. But then again, I made this in Construct 2, and I went in and I was like, I have to make super simple controls. So I was like, mouse, 2 things, we're gonna get the food in the baby's mouth, and that's gonna be the game. And it was very fun because I was streaming it while I was making it. So I would be like, can someone go find me a sound of a baby bird dying? So I don't have to go look because I only have an hour. You gotta go fast, So the next year I was like, I'm gonna do this again. And then I was like, trying to come up with an idea. And I was like, well, why don't I do a bird themed one again? Another game where you're a mama bird feeding the baby bird. This one's complicated. So the way this one works is the baby you control with the mouse. The mama hits the ground, trying to bounce the seeds up in the air so that the baby can get it. It's possible. That one. I decided to stop doing conditions for these games and making an hour rather than doing conditions pretty small for them. Yeah, this is a very... Oh, okay. Got it. Anyway, this is the second one. And same deal, I streamed it. And so the third year, I was like, well, I'm just going to keep going with this this baby bird theme. This was inspired. I like kayaking. I live in Seattle, and I was kayaking on a lake, and I saw an osprey catch a fish like right in front of me. I'm like, me to you. That's where it was. It dove down and caught a fish. It was so cool. So I was inspired. So this one, you do it. I actually don't remember the controls for this one. Read the controls. Arrows and down. Okay, got it. So you move your buddy. Move them left and right. he sort of floats, so he's got acceleration. And then you go down, you get a fish, and then you go over here, and you feed the fish. And that's it. That's the game. I feel like if you're gonna make a game in an hour, you gotta keep it so simple. And that's the joy of it. I did use that particle effects. I put particle effects in there. You float and you splash. Those quads. Construct 2 has a sprite editor in it, so I drew everything in the sprite editor directly with my mouse. So that's with this little 3-frame animation. I just drew it directly. And that's it. It's very simple. Simple game where you feed a baby in 1 hour. And then the final game of the series. So I did this 4 years in a row. This one's a nuthatch. Now I watched a nature documentary because that's what I do. I watch nature documentaries. I learned that nuthatches, they will line the entrance of their hole with pine resin so that it's sticky, it keeps bugs out, it keeps predators out. Very clever, but it means that the nuthatch has to fly directly into the hole to get into the nest. Can't miss it. All right. Yeah, I have to remember what this is. So this one you have to line up, and then, try it. I got it, yeah. Yeah, pro. And this you get stuck. That's it. That's the game. My favorite part of this game is my baby bird 2-frame animation. Does the job. Once you get sound in there, it does the job. You can see the background I painted with, you gotta go fast. You gotta go super fast. Yay! And that's it. Yeah. So this was what I got done in an hour. If I were to make this a real game, like put conditions in there, wind conditions, and all the things, it would take so much longer. But this was the last game jam game I did, and it was kind of a while ago. I haven't done a game jam in a while because I don't know. It's hard to explain. I'm really into systems now, and I get distracted by designing systems instead of like the actual game. So I don't know. All right, let's look at another one. Any questions? Any questions about any of these? Jerry? Oh, yes.
What do you think are the features of like the best game jam prompt?
The best game jam prompt. Okay. I have opinions on this. I have strong opinions. I like themes that are actually themes and not like mechanics, right? Like a good theme should be able to spawn lots of different mechanics. It should be like, I'm trying to think of if there was ever a game jam where it had a good theme. Because if you give the thing like 10 seconds, it's like, okay, like that's really, it's not very interesting space to work in my opinion. A theme is like more of a driving feeling or a fantasy or something, and it forces people to think more broadly outside the box. I mean, I guess there's nothing wrong with the mechanic style prompt, but it's more of a constraint, which is fine. But then you end up in like Ludum Dare where you get like, the villain is the hero like 4 years in a row because they put it to a vote, and they're just not very inspiring. So I think that curated themes are way better than everybody's suggested vote on themes. Because everyone suggested vote on themes, you're going to end up with, stuff that's like kind of okay. I don't care. Coming up with a theme, like a good theme, is hard. So I don't know if that actually answers your question. But that's my strong opinion about game jam themes. We're going to look at this one. This came, I have this now. This is a game I made because I wanted to make a visual novel because I'd never done it before. And it wasn't a jam, it was just me and some friends on our Discord server organized a game jam. And I was like, I want to learn RenPy, I want to learn how to make a visual novel. So I'm going to do that. And this is where I started realizing that I'm starting to get more into systems than in, what are you doing? I hear Here, try. There it is. Okay, yes, I can. This is where I figured out that I started getting more interested in designing systems in the actual game. So, because I was like, I want to make a visual novel. I don't know what the story is. I don't really have an idea for a story, which is a terrible way to start. It's a terrible way to start if you want to make a visual novel. I was like, I just want to figure out like the structure. So I had all these drawings I had done for Inktober. I was like, I'll just take all these drawings and throw them together and figure something out. So I made this structure where you like go and you go to different places and you find different things. And then I was like, I really don't feel like making a story. This is the least interesting part of it to me, which again is not a good reason to make a visual novel. So I asked my friend, Jason, I was like, hey, will you like go through this and just make up a story to it? He's like, well, what kind of story do you want? I'm like, no, I want you to look at all these pictures and come up with a story so I don't have to do it. And so we did, and it was fun for him. He's like, it's like playing a game. So it's all about you're going and you're taking a walk with your camera, and like all this art I did for, you did for Inktober. And you're like, oh, I found something here. Maybe I'll see something new. Oh look, you run into this old man that I drew because I just wanted to draw an old man. And then you have dialogue. I'm gonna be a curmudgeon this time. But yeah, my friend wrote all of the dialogue and the options. I basically gave him a thing was like, okay, you have 3 options, and here's the paths they take. So figure out something that makes sense. You did. I forgot to play this in a while, so now I don't remember what happened. I'll just ask for should we go for the rocks or should we ask for advice? Go for rocks, okay. Go to the rocks. Should we be sad about our shoes? Is this our theme that we're sad all the time? Should we go to the waterfall or should we investigate the sound? It's a tiger! Oh, I got scared. Tiger. I'm gonna take a picture. Alright. Not a tiger. And then you go to your photo album and you can see all the things you got. I love it. But it was great because I made the structure and I was like, I really don't want to make a story that's boring to me. But someone else did, and he made it lovely. Let's see. Let's try and go swimming. What is that? Something's there. It's a chameleon. Yay! I found a chameleon. It's a very sassy chameleon. Perfect for a picture. Here we go. Go downtown. And the reason there's a downtown is because I happen to have a drawing of downtown area. This is like the whole way I put this together. It's a very unconventional way of putting together a visual novel. Yeah. I don't know. A promotion. Let's go over there. A festival. A kite festival. I want to see the kites. Look at the kites. Woo! And so on and so forth. Look, can you get a little smiley face? This is like your mood. It tracks your mood. So if you're like, being a curmudgeon about your shoes, it'll track it. So anyway, that's bring your camera. It was fun for multiple reasons. One being that, it was fun to see what my friend did with it. It was like a game for me. I'm like, well, I'm going to give you this tool and see what you come up with. And it was fun for him to be like, here's a bunch of random constraints. Come up with something. Let's see, we have 10 minutes left. So I'm wondering, is there another? This is a game jam project that's super meta. It has my dead name in it, please ignore that. There was a jam called Bring Out Your Dead jam. It was for like narrative games, like Twine games and visual novels, and it was supposed to be, oh, go through those Twines that you never finished and just bring them out and show them. But I used it as a way to reflect on my unfinished projects. Because I had been doing them. So it's called How to Kill a Project, and it's about really how my process and philosophy on making projects, and how I either I never have anything like super half finished. So you just go and explore, and so the first unfinished game I encountered was from 2004. And then it's like, wait, you've been making games since 2007. And so you can let's go on a side tangent. And this talks about a game jam I did called Cake Town, which was not finished. And it just sort of talks about our experiences. Let's see, what games did I finish? And here's some of the games I did. Oh, Number Wolf. I forgot about Number Wolf. Does Number Wolf still exist? Anyway, don't worry about it. First abandoned project was MP Runner. It was an idea of it was a multiplayer endless runner, where one person was the runner and the other person put obstacles down for them. And I actually got a little prototype, and if I could find a prototype, I shoved it in there. And spacebar jumps, and then the other person would drop a pit, and you had to jump over it live, or put a wall. That was the idea. And I was like, this is fun. But then I was like, then it's going to take a lot of work. It's going to take a lot of work to make this multiplayer. And then I kept thinking of all the things where it was and then I go into it. Why did you abandon this prototype? And then I talk about the problems I saw. And it's like, do you ever do it again? Well, probably not. So this is just a very deep, in-depth exploration of a bunch of abandoned projects. And it also has secrets. If you get through all the paths, it unlocks extra special secret unfinished projects. But it was a fun exercise, because a lot of times you don't realize how much work you've been doing when you start something and you just don't get anywhere, and it's just like, I'm gonna abandon this. But when you put them all together, it adds up, and you're like, and then when you discover new games, you can go back to the game list and see them. And so it was definitely not what this jam was intended for, but it's like, oh yeah, I was trying to make this game for my grandfather who had macular degeneration. It's going to be all vibration based. It just didn't work, and blah blah blah. Anyway. Oh, the eye tracker game. Oh man, I forgot about the eye tracker. Oh no, the video's unavailable. Anyway. So that's that. That's that jam. It's not really that. I guess it's a game jam. So anyway, that's a showcase. It's not all the jams I did, but it's some of my favorites. Unless you want to see pivot tables for game designers. That's a real crowd pleaser there. So which of these, is there any of these that you want me to try again?
The Dragon Feeder.
The Dragon Feeder, all right. We're going to get through all the levels of Dragon Feeder. Okay. In the next 4 minutes, 6 minutes.
So in your opinion, are game jams worth it?
Yeah. I mean, it depends on your goal. I did a lot of jams early in my career to sort of stretch my boundaries, try different things. They're great social, meeting other people in your community, just getting the feeling of working with different people. I think you have to learn to do. Oh, that's a speed booster. Hold on. Oh my god. Oh no! Is it stuck? Is it? Oh no, it's just stuck. I did it. I failed you, little dragon. It's so sad. But to answer it, it depends on what your goals are. If your goal is, I want to force myself to try something new. I want to try and work with different people. I want to just like challenge myself to work under constraints. I want to learn how to healthfully do a game jam and not burn myself out, and like how to healthfully scope. All those things can be great. It just sort of depends what your goal is in doing them. Yeah. Yeah.
Any game jams that stood out as like building community around that sort of thing?
Ludogare is definitely my favorite one. But I haven't done it in a while, so I don't know how it's changed. But it was always a fun way to, they set a good incentive to play other people's games. So you could, did I break one thing? Probably break it. Okay, we'll get this. We'll get there, y'all. We'll get there. They set up an incentive because you had to play other games in order to get your own game to be rateable. So a lot of people would play games and like stream themselves, play games or talk about them, and you got lots of feedback, and it was just like a really fun event that lots of people participated in. I loved 7-Day FPS for similar reasons. It was a little more of a small community. I feel like something happened. There was a point where all of a sudden there were like a million game jams like all the time, and it was kind of it diluted things. Like it didn't really have as much a sense of community. So I don't know what there are now that gets that sense of community, but those were my favorites. That's for sure. Yeah.
You ever seen a game jam game want to be developed into something larger than what
Yeah, that happens sometimes. I think if Super Hot jumps to mind for some FPS. But the thing is, a lot of times, a game you make for a game jam isn't necessarily a good fit for expanding. Because when you make a game jam game, you're making something like really compact that someone can like get into the excitement of and sit down and play for like, 15 minutes, right? One thing I saw happen was, what did they call the Museum of Simulation Technology? What did they call that game when they released it? It was the one where you could like zoom in and make big objects or something. Superliminal, yes. So that started out as a game jam game. And as a game jam game, it was great because it's like, whoa, this is so cool. It's like really compacting. And I talked to those guys, they went to my grad school and I was visiting. And they really had a struggle. They were like, we don't know if this mechanic can sustain an entire game. Like, there was like, the puzzles were like really cool, but then there was like 3 puzzles. And it was like, oh no, what do we do? And they ended up like, we had to come up with different things. Unfinished Swan was like that too. This is an old game, Unfinished Swan. They had this really, really cool like thing that came from a game jam that was great for a first level. And they're like, let's make this game for real. And they're like, oh wait, this is only interesting for like 1 level. Oh god, we gotta do a bunch of other stuff. So while it does happen, it's okay for a game to exist. It's okay to have a short game. It's okay to have a game that someone just sits down and plays for 5 minutes and bring them joy. So, yeah. We are out of time. Thank y'all so much. I'm supposed to promote myself. I wrote a fantasy novel. If you like fantasy, if you like cozy fantasy, just go buy my fantasy novel, I guess. If you want to play any of these, it's Wordle at wordle.itch.io. And so if you want to feed a baby dragon, you can go there and do it yourself. But thanks for coming along with me. This is lovely to go and look and talk about all these weird little games. And I really appreciate it. Thanks so much.